Do you want me to mute everyone?
I don't think that's necessary. We're not that big of a group. I think we're okay.
So
Um,
just know though, if I hear any noise, then I
yeah,
mute you.
you may have to jump in and help us out. And then Vanessa, if you have a way of like uh, getting a list of who's here, like emails, so we can have a list. I don't know if everyone wants
Yes.
to do
Yeah,
that in the
I
chat.
think so. I'm pretty sure that um I can harvest everybody's name, but in the meantime, because we have an hour, I'll also make a hand list.
Okay, how about I make a
Okay.
suggestion?
Yes.
If everybody on this call could be so kind to put your email address in the chat, we can save the chat, and that way we have your email address.
Thank you, Holly. Great idea.
Perfect.
Susan Mason, you get a star.
I was already about to do it when she suggested it.
All right. Well, everyone, thanks for coming in and coming to the Zoom tonight. Great to see a lot of enthusiasm from the start. Certainly hope that carries through to springtime, summertime, when there's work to be done in the garden. But anyway, so the idea that we had was to put in a native plant and pollinator garden, kind of along the driveway in front of the classroom windows. There's 3 trees there, and kind of between the 2 trees that are farthest apart would be a good spot, I think. And we can make it probably about up to 15 feet long and 5 feet wide, but probably starting smaller than that would be a good plan, since it's our first attempt here, and we don't want to bite off more than we can chew. I want to make sure that whatever we do looks really nice and beautifies our building and doesn't look like just a bunch of unkept weeds. So it'll take some ongoing work to maintain, but we have a pollinator garden in front of our house, much like what we're hoping to plan to put in at Makom, and it's fantastic just seeing the the life that comes there, the butterflies, the caterpillars, the bees, the birds, all that stuff, and beautiful flowers throughout the growing season. um, I've invited Gloria Charland to join us today. She's a friend of mine, a co-worker at Sierra Club Woods and Wetlands of Lake County, and she has a lot of experience with putting in pollinator gardens and restoration and native plants, and she's helping to run a wholesale native plant sale, and that's going to be this spring. So orders are due by mid-February. So that's why I wanted to kind of get a jump on things here. And she's going to hopefully give us some advice and guidance along the way, as well as sell us plants at a great price. So anyway, I guess I just wanted to know if there's anyone who's on the Zoom tonight who has a lot of experience with doing this sort of thing.
Any master gardeners
any
in our
master
midst?
gardeners? Anyone who has a great
I'm
knowledge?
not a
I've been working at the Botanic Gardens for 22 years.
Up. If you want to talk, either raise your hand, or I'm going to call on you. So we have one at a time. So Alan, go, and then Debbie Shanling, and I'll see who, and then Diane.
Okay, I have been volunteering at the Chicago Botanic Gardens for the last 7-8 years. I work in the bulb garden, and I also worked in Evening Island. So I had some experience.
Excellent.
Thank you. And Debbie Shanling.
Okay, I have many plants I could donate to this. I've been gardening I've lived here, let's see, my son is 33, I've been here 34 years. So I could donate Lobelia cardinalis. I could donate a lot of plants, and I've been a master gardener, and I've been at the Botanic Gardens in the sensory garden and the circle garden for 22 years.
And I just want to say that Debbie at Legacy Lakeside did a beautiful, beautiful job with our garden, and I've gotten a lot of gifts from her. Of plants and things, not just. Susan Mason, go ahead.
Oh, I don't have that kind of experience, but I've had a garden forever, and most of my plants are plants that are pollinators. I have lots of Monarda, lots of Rudbeckia, and I certainly have plenty that I could share as well. So,
All right, thank you. Anybody else want to share right now? Diane?
Yeah, so I did a lot of gardening when we had our house. Now that we're in a condo, I do a lot of hanging plants that attract butterflies, anything I can get to attract, do the pollinators. But I also had a native garden in my backyard too. So, and I can vouch for Debbie's garden is amazing. I will vouch for that.
Okay.
And what,
Say.
Debbie and then Andy.
who's next?
Debbie Shanling, then Andy Amen.
Okay. I just want to say that if there's ever a dry day out, we should put what's it called? Cardboard down on the soil, on the area that you want. Just get a lot of brown, no plastic, no, like boxes, cardboard boxes with no plastic on it and no staples on it. And just put it on the soil, and then where you want the garden, and then put some soil or mulch or compost on top of that while it's winter. And that'll be nice. We can make a raised bed. It'll make it nice in the spring. And then you never remove that. You never remove that. It'll make it real easy instead of digging.
Right. So, okay. Yeah, I think there was one more person who wanted to go.
Well,
Andy?
maybe we could
Andy, yeah.
maybe we could get the landscapers to mulch the leaves and start that at the same time.
There are no leaves.
Have that, we'd have that mulch and that cover for weeds for the garden. I don't know what kind of raking or cleanup in the spring gets done, but maybe it could get mulched. It's just something to think about. So I'm not a
Yeah,
trained- I've had a
depending
trained
on when we started, they may have already done a spring cleanup. Because if we get,
well,
yeah, we'll have to see when they
Yeah.
do spring cleanup
Mhm.
and where we're at with the ground.
Yeah.
right. So I'm not a trained gardener, but we have a native garden, and we have got the national wildlife, and we sign on it, no pesticides, and some of all the plants we've mentioned. So not strong on milkweed. No trouble with that.
All right. Well, that kind of brings me to, I guess, the next topic is preparing the soil or the grounds. Right now, it's just some sparse turf grass that's growing there. Now there's one line of thought that says prepare the area by kind of spraying Roundup to kill the grass that's there, kill whatever other plants may be growing there, and do that maybe 6 weeks before planting. And then that would leave sort of a cover of dead grass, and then just plant directly into there. That seems like a very simple way to do things. And then there's the cardboard box method with stuff on top as well, which also kind of smothers the stuff beneath. Do we have any strong thoughts or opinions one way or another on that?
Would it be organic?
Roundup?
No,
Be organic,
no.
No.
Roundup is not organic.
Roundup's bad stuff.
Yeah, I don't think we should.
I would highly recommend looking at Charles Dowding, Douding, Charles Dowding. It's a no-dig method. He's in England, which is a different zone than we have, but his methods are all organic, and he's fabulous. Give you a lot of information on how to start a garden. And he does that cardboard.
The cardboard box method?
Yeah.
Is there any concern about aesthetics if we do the cardboard box method?
You won't see it.
I mean,
You won't
either
see the
way,
cardboard.
we're gonna end up with a dead patch of lawn.
No, you won't see it. You're gonna have the cardboard box, and you're gonna put mulch on top of it. If you want, you can line it with wood, but you don't have to. you can buy the wood or do, what do they call, railroad ties or something. But you're not gonna see it. You might see it for a little while, but, just put a sign in there, this is gonna be our garden, you know? And in the spring, you can, it depends on what plants you want. I don't want to tell you what to do if you have an idea of what you want, but you can line the whole thing with marigolds. So you have a whole border of marigolds, you know, or nasturtiums or whatever anybody has in their gardens they want to donate. It'd be beautiful. And then have your wildflowers and your pollinators in the middle. It'd be just gorgeous. It'd be beautiful.
Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah.
And
And I like the idea.
I'm sure. Yeah, and that's all organic. You don't have to worry about putting your hands in it or breathing it or little kids playing in it, you know. It's nice.
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything that wasn't organic, especially you hear on the news, people that have had claims, cancer claims for weed killers. I mean, it's constantly being reported on the news to, if you use a particular product. So I'd stay away from that with children.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So I'm hearing definitely more support for the cardboard method. And then I like the idea of, even if it's kind of like not the most attractive thing early on, but we'll put a sign by it, and that'll just serve to get more attention for the
What
project.
I did was I walked around in the neighborhood, and when people moved in, they had all these cardboard boxes that were going to go in the garbage.
Yeah.
And we just loaded them in the car, took all the metal off and all the tape off, and just like this thick. And then we got leaves, of course it was in the fall, we got leaves, we got grass clippings, we bought cow manure, you know, just layers and layers of mulch. And doing it, you know, during the winter, you want the snow on it and everything, because that will just turn to dirt. It's beautiful. And you'll just have a beautiful garden. It's a beautiful garden. It's free.
Sounds good. All right. Well, I'm going to share the information from the plant sale. And maybe, Gloria, if you want to say a few words about it. Vanessa, can you make me a co-host so I can share screen?
Oh, I made, sorry. Yes, I made somebody else a co-host. Okay.
Sure.
And there you go.
All right.
Hi, Vanessa.
Hey.
Okay. There, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm with a watershed group, and we found that the best thing for filtering our water and reducing flooding is native plants. And we've gotten a number of grants. We've done some big plantings, rain gardens, riparian buffer zones. But we've learned that the easiest way for us to get the most plants into our watershed is we do this wholesale buy. So we don't make any profit on these, just everybody buys their plants and we put it all together and make a wholesale buy. We are all volunteers, so there's a limited number of plants, but the prices are fantastic. This is an example of the riparian buffer strip. And so there's the different zones. You're not dealing with that, but this little package that Jay's bringing up here, the butterfly garden, we had a horticulture student from CLC draw it up for us. And this you get 50 plants and it's $70. And I've gotten 2 catalogs already now from native plant retailers. And this is about a $200 package. So it's fun. And I know you've got a lot of plants to be donated. So feel free to, buy 1 or 2 of these, or you can buy plants in half flats, whatever you want to do. But we're happy to work with y'all.
Yeah. So there's the garden package, which, Gloria said it's got 50 plants. It's only $70. And then they also have a lot of these other plants as well, at obviously very reasonable prices. And I think a great sort of side project to do would be, to order some plants through this sale, but also order some extras. So if people wanted to plant some milkweed and then a companion nectar plant in their own yards, then they could do that, because that's really the best way to help out the monarch butterflies, not just to have one fantastic garden at Makom, but to have food sources for the butterflies spread throughout the area. So I think getting some extra plants makes a lot of sense. Probably the butterfly milkweed, which is kind of a smaller plant. The big pink milkweeds are kind of big and maybe not for everybody's yard. But then to have maybe one or two other companion native plants that we can offer with that. Sound like a good idea?
I really like the selection that they offer. I think that's a wonderful selection. My only concern is the New England aster, because those will take over. And there was another aster. You didn't really scroll. I couldn't really scroll through.
I have so many asters of so many kinds.
The other aster, I think it's the silky aster, and it's a little dwarf one.
Oh, yeah. I really like the bee balm, the butterfly reed, the prairie smoke, Virginia bluebell. Really nice selection. The only thing is you're going to need some annuals in there too, and I'll be happy to donate annuals because it's not going to look like a butterfly garden. It's going to kind of look like a weed garden. It's not going to be like, like everybody thinks, oh, it's supposed to be really colorful and beautiful, like with zinnias and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
I add cosmos to my
cosmos, that would be good too.
Very colorful and
really nice selection.
And it reseeds itself too. Yeah, if I may, I would suggest maybe those of you who have some plant gardening design experience, and those of you who've got some plants to donate, maybe you could get together and do a little ad hoc committee and decide what you want to plant where. But the thing on this sale is our deadline is February 15th. And we do that because some of these plants sell out so fast that we found if we don't have them in by February 15th, we start sending orders in and finding out that they're out of. Butterfly milkweed is very popular, a few different plants. So you've got just a couple weeks. And I'm happy to be on your ad hoc committee if you want my opinion, but it sounds like you gals know what you're doing.
This is our first meeting.
Oh. Yeah. I think we got some good ideas here, and I think that's probably our next step, is to kind of form, this committee of people who know what they're doing, and kind of figure out what we want to get from Gloria and what we want to get from elsewhere. And then some people to start collecting boxes and prepare the area. I think those are the things that we need to do kind of in the next couple weeks, probably, right?
Yes. Well, after this frost comes in.
Yeah.
After Sunday.
All right.
Rich had his hand up.
Yeah. The only thing I have a witness if somebody wants to listen. I am not an expert in any of this. I can dig a hole. But I think you should just, for the $70, just order the butterfly garden. If we don't plant it all, I'm sure people will take it. If you got a deadline in 2 weeks, just get that part of it done. That's a no-brainer.
Will that be enough plants?
I think you need 2.
Yeah.
Buy 2.
Yeah, I put the link for the plant sale into the chat. So I encourage, everyone to take a look at it. And I think at the end, we'll try and get sort of a group together who wants to be in charge of what we're going to plant. Again, I don't have great experience or knowledge with this, so I would defer to those master gardeners out there who know what they're talking about.
And I would add that we have some excellent bushes that are good for pollinators and birds, and so much easier to take care of than flowers. I think if you've got the room, it's great to include some of the bushes.
Age, yeah, and we should try to keep it so it's sequential. So we make sure that we're getting flowers that are going to bloom, continually. Because I noticed the Virginia bluebells being on there. I wouldn't think of them in this kind of garden. I love them. They spread everywhere, but once they've bloomed, they are completely dead. You don't even know where they are to dig them up. They completely die off by, would you say, the end of May? I don't even know the date, but
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
You
warm.
you don't know where they are until next year.
It's Marilyn. I just I just wanted to say something. Jay?
Please. Yeah, yeah, please.
Well, across from the area that you're speaking about is the children's garden. And Dr. Phyllis Leff planted that garden in the memory of the children that were lost in the Holocaust. I believe that was the nature of the memorial. And I, at one time, purchased tulip bulbs, and we had the children come out and each one of them pick a tulip bulb, and they were given the name of one of the children that were that we were saying prayers for, and they each planted their own bulbs. And in spring, all these gorgeous tulips and daffodils came up. They were removed when there was a construction, and the island was, I guess it was moved over. So those things no longer, those plantings are no longer there. And we also planted them along the whole area that you're planting. And they're not, I don't see them anymore, but they were also planted in the island in the middle of the park, right at the front of the parking lot. And the children's involvement was so important, because as each flower bloomed, it was a new life and a remembrance, and they each knew their child's name. And when they put the plant into the earth, they said the child's name, and then they covered it up, and then behold, springtime came. So I'm just wondering, and I don't know what kind of budget you have for this, but if you're talking about February 15th, I know that doesn't give us a whole lot of time, but there's Valentine's Day, Mother's Day. I mean, if we could have a committee where maybe some of the families would like to know that, get involved emotionally and spiritually with this garden in some way, not just walk by and say, oh, that's beautiful, there's butterflies, but feel a connection. Is there any way that we can think about a committee that might be able to connect this with our children, with our school, so that they feel an involvement in all of this? And it would just be beautiful if we could.
Yeah, definitely. I think, one of the great things about this is when it comes time to planting, it's something that people could do kind of together outdoors. We could be socially distanced. Kids could get their hands dirty. I think that's a great idea. And I think as it grows and as, we get, interesting insects and caterpillars, I think the kids would love to see that and watch the flowers as they grow too. But yeah, I mean, that was kind of the whole seed of this when we were trying to figure out what to do kind of with our green group that would get people working together, involve people of all ages. And we thought, what better way than a garden?
Yeah, well, what's more beautiful than a child for Mother's Day or Valentine's Day saying a note? We could have little cards written that they say, flowers have been planted in honor of my loving, my beautiful, wonderful mother for whatever occasion, or for a birthday, or for, so even if you wanted to, I know this is a big undertaking, if you wanted to eventually have more flowers around Solel time and around the pond and all, this project could be something that could develop in time. I mean, right now we have to stay in one space.
Right, right.
One other thing too is we do have, the Green Group did purchase a grow cart because we had wanted to grow herbs and things for the High Holy Days. So when we are back to in-person for Love Learning, I think this would be a good place to maybe to utilize that grow cart, and the kids could grow the flowers either to, you know, take home and plant at home, or, you know, they could,
Plant
if they did
around the-
marigolds or some type of, you know, something that could supplement the edge of the garden, or, you know, if there's spaces to fill in every year.
Right,
that
because
could be
the building itself is pretty barren in the spring. I mean, there are not a lot of flowers, and there's so much area around where the school is and in the back. And I mean, we have so many areas that we could, but again, I think we can't take on too much too soon. You have to
I
concentrate.
think your ideas are fabulous. I really do. I think that's a fabulous idea to include kids and holidays. I think that's a fabulous idea. I think if you want to do that, you have to do like what, I'm sorry, I don't even know your name. Jay?
Maryland,
Marilyn?
yes.
No, but Jay is the one who's started
Yeah.
all of it?
Yeah, Jay's in charge.
Okay, Marilyn, that's who I'm talking to. Okay. We have to make the gardens. We have to start with the soil. So if you want to do gardens in the back where the kids could participate, you have to just, you know, set up an area, because the soil there right now, I was walking around, you can't even put a shovel in it. You know, it is hard, real hard. And there's like roots and buckthorn, and it's just really a mess. But if you did a raised bed, like with the cardboard and stuff, and, you know, did it on top of the soil, it would be fine. That's a great idea. I really like that.
Awesome. All right.
I had a
Can I
question,
jump in?
if I can jump in for a minute.
Oh, yeah,
It's wrapping
Rabbi.
up.
Huh?
Yeah, I had one question for Marilyn and then a more general question, but I'm just thinking about that children's garden. You know, I thank you for the history of that, which I did, and I've been wondering about, and I think I see my colleague here, Cantor Jay, nodding his head too, because neither of us knew that history. So is that ripe for replanting now? Because whatever was there is not really there anymore.
There is something that's been planted since. When it was moved, it was planted since. And the person who we really should get involved with is Dr. Phyllis Left. It's her memorial, and you'll notice there are white stones that embrace the large monument stone with the significance of being visited. And she can share with you, and probably even has, if I know her, a written little legacy about it. And it's across from this other garden, so it should be incorporated, I think, in some way.
Yeah, ultimately, for sure. So thank you. I'll get in touch with Phyllis. My more general question was about, do we have a lot of non-native species growing around the building now? Things around the pond and that sort of thing. Is there anyone who's either looked at that or someone who could?
A million buckthorn trees, a zillion.
Also around the pond, I know they've battled these phylates,
Phragmites.
thank you.
Yeah.
And that's been battled for years. I don't know where it is now, and I think it's sort of been left to its own. You're right, it should be addressed.
Yeah, really.
We'll take it one step at a time, but I was just curious because having moved into the building relatively recently myself, I don't know anything about this history. So
yeah, there was an effort to put native plant species in the concrete planters. Those are the giant concrete basin bowls that you see at the west entrance, and there's also some at the north at the parking lot entrance. I don't know how those are doing, so maybe if someone who's super knowledgeable, I mean, maybe we could even re-up some native, on our plant order for the 15th, for stuff that could maybe go into those planters. Just a random thought.
Yeah. That's a
I
good idea.
could donate plants for that and do a planting with the kids in the spring in the planters every year. That would be a fun thing for them to do. Quick, easy, plants there, let them be an easy thing.
Yeah, it's another one of those things where
Right.
someone stepped up and donated those. So Debbie, I think that's a great idea. But again, just like with Phyllis Leff, these incredible lay leaders who have stepped up in the past before we, kind of,
Right.
kind of get to our work. We also want to kind of connect and make sure that they're
Right.
aware of what we're thinking. And so maybe that would be a good next step in terms of for Rabbi and myself, or people on the office side to kind of help with that.
Gloria?
So just a few things I've been trying to keep. So we did a planting this year up here at the Squaw Creek watershed during COVID. And one of the things that made it easier was family groups. So, we could have 2 family groups and we'd have, 8 people planting at one time. You just have the 2. So, and planting with families is wonderful. Other things with kids, probably you're going to plant milkweed and most likely you're going to get monarchs. It is a wonderful thing to you cut the little leaves off with the egg and bring them inside, and they hatch, and then you have to feed them milkweed leaves. I mean, it's just I put in my mother lives behind me and she's kind of disabled, and we put in a butterfly garden in front of her deck, and she spent all summer with these monarchs with eggs and caterpillars, and it's just a beautiful thing. A third thing with kids is a lot of these plants will flower this year and you'll have seeds. So you can teach the kids how to gather the native seeds. And it's not quite so easy to get them to sprout, but you can research the different types and have the kids sprout more seeds. And that could be a wonderful project for next year for the kids to give those plants away and save the planet that way. Anyway,
So since we're planning and talking about these ideas out there, I think we should really include a vegetable garden for the kids to do. I think that's really what they love. They love to grow food, then they love it. And then there's beans. And so just thinking ahead, I know the ground is awful and that part, but down where the playground is, it seems like we could have, and then, I think that should be in the 5-year plan. Yeah, I think that, I don't know. I've had very good luck with kids and vegetables.
Yeah. All right.
Don't forget the hummingbirds. They come too.
Thank you, Cantor J. Bye.
Yeah. That's great. Well, we're rolling here. We got some really good ideas. Andy, did you want to mention that that program that you emailed me about?
And I think it is also in the chat. So tomorrow night, followed by a second session on February 16th, the Jewish Climate Action Network is sponsoring with the National Wildlife Federation how to make your own lawn sacred ground, and how to plant native plants and how to so on and so forth. They have a very good qualified panel on both topics. And so if anybody wants to register, it's of course a Zoom call.
It's not in the chat because I haven't been able to get it in yet.
Oh, I thought you put it in the chat.
I was just gonna say, not in the chat.
I'm trying, but I can't paste into the chat. So
But I could just forward the whole thing to everybody on this list, couldn't I?
Yes.
Or forward it to me, Andy, and I'll send it out tomorrow.
Okay. But yeah, it didn't come out till a couple of days ago.
And then I'll mention one other program. There's a program on specifically on monarchs that is going on in Northbrook. A Go Green Northbrook Sierra Club member is doing this. So if anyone wants to go to a webinar specifically about monarchs and learn about all of that, I'll put the email address for Marilyn in the chat, and you can email her for the link to it.
A different Maryland.
A different Maryland. Yeah, different Maryland. All right. So, okay. Well, I think, this is fantastic. I'm really, really happy with how this is going. I think as a next step, like I said, we need to have, some people who want to figure out like, well, what plants specifically we're going to put there. What are we going to order from the plant sale? And then also do some preparation of the site. So I'm going to appeal to our master gardeners to maybe spearhead this effort, if that's okay with you guys.
I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Can you put that list back up that you had? You had a list of what to get?
Yeah, from the
sale?
The sale?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me
Because you didn't really scroll through, you kind of sat in one area.
okay. We'll
I
do.
really liked what I saw though. I thought it was fabulous.
Uh-huh. Do you want me to
start at the top? Okay,
start
so
at the top of the list of plants?
well, you were talking about getting a butterfly garden. What are the 50 plants?
Butterfly garden?
That's it. Right?
These are the plants that are in the butterfly garden.
I mean, if you have to get the plants that they stay there, you're kind of stuck with New England aster, but I would not get that because that's going to be a real problem in our area. It'll take over and you won't have anything else. I don't know what the love grass is. I love the prairie smoke.
Yeah, all of these are available in half flats also. We just put this garden together because most people don't want to buy 25 plants at a time. And it is set up so that you've got blooming nectar flowers for the whole season. Spring.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
The love grass is
I don't
over here.
I don't think we need any bushes. I think you really want to do flowers from the sound of it. So when you drive up, you see a pretty garden. Because you also have windows there. You want to be able to see out the windows.
What about that sage bush that blooms late August and all the
No,
bees?
you don't want sage.
That it's a bush like a
I know. It only
Oh, I think it blooms for so long and the bees love it.
well, maybe in a corner, but not in the middle of the garden.
No,
no, not in the middle. It's too big.
You don't want to do anything.
See how pretty that New England aster is, but it really you can't let it go to seed. If you're going to do that, you can't let it go to seed. And it looked like there were 12 plants in there. That's a lot.
Mine get really leggy too.
I think those numbers were referring to what's in the key here.
Oh,
I think maybe not in terms of the number of them.
Plants you want, Gloria?
You can buy all of your own plants, but if you look at the order sheet, they're all in half flats. So sometimes 25, sometimes 12. But yes, all the plants are available individually, but in a little bit of a quantity.
Okay, I'm not sure about
And
this
I
bottle
put
of
this.
gentian. I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
It looks pretty. Yeah.
Gentian, bottle gentian.
The gentian is it's a really cool flower. It almost looks like it's not open, and there's a special bee that pollinates it. And when the bee pollinates it, it like goes all the way into the flower, and you just see his little tush hanging out. It's very cool, very cool flower.
Yeah.
Well, scroll back. Now, all these flowers that are underneath there, is that part of it too, the next page?
Oh, yes. There's 3 pages.
Yeah, so here's the next
Let's see the
page.
next page.
So I put, yeah, I put the link to
I could
this in
donate
the,
all these Lobelia cardinalis. I could donate 500 plants of those. We don't have to buy those.
Oh my.
I have
500.
a lot of those in my garden. And they like water, so that area is not really wet, but we might make it.
I probably have 20 bee balm that I could donate.
Oh, good.
And another
Yeah, let's save money. Keep going.
We sell the cardinal flower as part of the rain garden,
Mhm.
not the pollinator garden.
Oh, that milkweed looks gorgeous. Loose strife? Isn't that something you're not supposed to plant?
Well, our the gal who designed our, this is the domestic loose strife, though this is
Oh,
one
okay.
that's not invasive. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see.
There's a yellow one too that the deer love.
Oh, you do not want to put wild strawberries in there.
No, they're the biggest weeds in my garden.
Okay, let's see the next page.
Yeah. Oh.
this is the order form.
Oh, that's the order form. Okay.
Yeah. There was a page that was just above this one that I think is some sedges and
right.
more
We
for
have a lot of
like
grass in there right
riparian
now.
stuff.
There's a lot of grass around the water that's beautiful. That's there right now. It's real pretty. I don't think we need more grass unless you want more.
Maybe the blue flag irises would be nice.
You're gonna need wet for that, wet sun.
Yeah, we don't, it's real dry where you're talking. It's real dry where you're talking.
Yeah, the iris is from the rain garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless from the roof, do they have gutters that empty into there in that area?
I
don't
don't know.
Yeah, 'cause that would be fine there.
Oh, it seems pretty dry.
Yeah, it seems pretty dry there. And that's where if you do a raised bed, it would be nice to.
Yeah, we have each plant come in there.
Those would be pretty around the pond someday.
Yeah. I don't know how long they bloom for. They probably only bloom for April and May. Nobody's gonna see them.
Yeah.
It seems
Um,
like, yeah,
it's
I
like-
got, Jay, what, didn't you suggest that we maybe get a few people together who know about gardening, in the next week, so we'll get into the order time.
Yeah.
Right.
Because everybody's not gonna be able to.
Right.
Flowers.
Right. I think that's the best next step.
Yeah.
And then I'll put the link to this in the chat again, to this page from Gloria, and then we can figure out what we want to order and what we want to donate from our own gardens, and I think that'll be our next step. So we
Yeah.
want to do that within the next couple of weeks, figure that out
Within like the next week.
within the next week, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, week, you've got right to the 15th, so it's around the corner. I'm sensitive to holiday time when the honey and the apples and the kids are outside with the honey and the apples. The bees are more prevalent than ever. And, in my past experience, children have had problems with the bees. And so rather than I'd like attracting the idea of the butterflies, but I wouldn't go overboard on the bees. Because as they go to come.
Be on the other side. It wouldn't be on the side where they have the sucker.
Alan Labbitt, did you want to say something?
Yeah, just an FYI. I didn't mention, I also had been volunteering since the beginning at Butterflies and Blooms.
Oh.
And I know that we have, and it still might be up on their website, if you go on the Chicago Botanic Gardens website for Butterflies and Blooms, we used to have a list of all the plants that we had inside of the butterfly house, the bushes, the flowering plants, and they all did well, of course, in there during the summer. So that might give you some ideas of what to use for this garden.
Nice.
And if you can't find the list, I might have a copy of it somewhere in the house.
I put the link to the Botanic Garden in the chat.
great.
Cool. Okay, well, who wants to be in charge of picking plants?
I can help with that.
Yeah, I think that's great. Alan, you want to be in on that as well?
I don't want to be in charge because I got lots of other things, but I'm happy to help.
Okay. We got
I don't
Alan,
mind being in charge.
Debbie, perfect. Love it. Who else?
Another
Who else
person.
wants to
Well,
help?
who wants
Andy?
to come to the
I'll do it,
flower picking meeting?
Yeah,
right?
who wants to go to the flower picking meeting? That's a better question.
If,
All right.
if the timing it works out for me, I'd be happy to participate. I don't want to be in charge.
Okay.
I was going to volunteer, but Andy beat me to it.
Susan,
So we have
Andy.
Debbie, Susan, and Andy.
Yeah, and then Alan could be kind of the in there as well, but an adjunct member.
Yeah, I'm
right?
happy to do, whatever. I just don't want to be in charge. That's all.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. And then I'm happy to be on box patrol and get boxes. Our across the street neighbor overflows their recycle bin with Amazon boxes every week. So we've got an unlimited supply of boxes.
So do we all.
You want about, sorry, Margaret.
That's okay. We all do, I think. Get the boxes.
Yeah.
You want about 4 inches, a minimum of 4 inches of boxes.
4 inches of boxes. Wow.
Yeah, and then about, I don't know, 8-10 inches of mulch on top of that.
So it would
That's
be
all gonna
worth
go
it
down.
to order a load, right? To order a load of soil or mulch, like order a truckload.
You
to
can
get
order
dumped on
leaf
top.
mulch. Leaf mulch would be really good. If you're gonna
And
get a
then would
load,
you-
they could just pour it down on top of it. Nobody even has to do anything.
Would you need soil on top then
No.
before?
Well, you could.
Okay.
You could.
Well.
But I would, the boxes would probably decide where you're gonna put the garden. And you have to get it wet. So if there's snow, then put the snow on top of it, because it'll blow. It'll blow. So.
Is this going to be a raised garden or planted in the ground?
Well, that's basically going to be a little bit raised. It'll be like a mound. It'll be like a mound. It's not going to have sides. It's just going to be in the ground. The easiest way possible.
Right. But I think it's going to work so much better because of, we tried one of these on the facing south on the bill at Makom. And anyway, the ground was never prepared and it was really sad. A lot of work for nothing.
All right.
Raised bed.
Yeah, somewhat raised. Well, Debbie, do you want to pick a date for?
Well, if you want to stay after right now, since we're all here, I don't know how to do the Zoom or anything, but if you want to stay, we could just go over it and pick it right now. If you want.
I'm
Since we're all
not
here.
going anywhere. Yeah.
I don't know. I'd rather pick another time, but I'll go along with it.
It won't take long.
Maybe you want to measure the site first?
I feel like we should.
I think it's probably going to be what, about 100 feet?
Long? Yeah, roughly. Yeah, I mean,
100 feet long by 6 feet wide. I mean, if you're gonna have 2 different gardens?
Yeah. I mean, I think probably, on one end it could be 5 feet deep, the other end 7 feet deep, and maybe 15 feet wide or so. So close to 100 square feet.
Yeah, I think.
Or less, depending on how ambitious we want to be.
I don't think we need to measure it. I think if you're gonna buy two what did you say, Alan? Buy 2 boxes? Well, we're going to decide the plants.
Yeah. Okay.
Do we have a budget?
Well, that's another good question. Would Holly left.
As the only staff member left on here, I would say, I mean, like, what are we talking about?
I have no idea.
It's under 500, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. You can make a nice garden for $500.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm sure we can get some donations too. If we get extra plants that we want to, you know, either give or sell to people to take home, we could, you know, make some money back on those for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this is something people love to angel. You know, every time there's a snowfall, just clearing the lot is a lot of money. And I have always said nobody wants it to be the Ehrlich Snowplow Fund, but a garden, you know, that's a little easier to sell.
I agree. I agree.
Can't blame them. That's good. Shows the values.
Alan Berkelhammer, go ahead.
Hey, Jay, I just wanted to volunteer to do some of the grunt work when the time comes when it's a little bit warmer out. Happy to come over with a shovel and do some digging. That's about the speed of my gardening. But I was curious about buying some plants along with the order that we're making for the 15th, and if there's an opportunity to do that for our own house.
Yeah, for sure. Like I put the link in there.
Yeah, I got that. But I'm just trying to figure out how we're gonna hook up to do that.
Yeah, well, I know I'm gonna probably go out to the plant sale out where Gloria is and take a couple van loads probably myself, and if other people have a van or a truck and want to go out there, I'll be happy to kind of shuttle them to the Makom for pickup. But
could
yeah, I
people,
don't.
Jay, could people give their orders to you? Just so we have like a central order.
Yeah,
point?
I could be the central person and I could you know, send them on to Gloria. Is that
I was
okay,
the chair
Gloria?
of a plant sale for a number of years at our elementary school. We did a fundraiser plant sale every year. That was my committee.
Might be your job there, Susan. If there was any chance you guys could put the whole order into one big order and
Yeah.
write one check, because we're all volunteers up here sorting these things out, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, just send it to me, Alan, and then I'll put it all together and send it to Gloria.
You know, Jay, maybe if it gets too complicated, you could just make a few decisions, you know, pick 4 plants that we're going to have, and people, you know, these are the options, because I think it's going to get really hard, you know, and we can have a variety and publicize that we've ordered, we've gotten great prices, we have for
Yeah, yeah, I would just say
orders are going to get really.
Yeah, I would just say we're gonna have the, you know, the butterfly, milkweed, and then like one other companion plant that would do well with that, and say here's what we have.
Yeah.
You know, when we start planting, and people could take those home.
Right.
Jay, if you get inundated with a ton of orders and need help organizing it, I'll help you.
Okay, thanks, Rich. All right. Well, anything else before we kind of segue into the plant deciding subcommittee of the garden committee? Oh, all right. Well, everyone, thank you so much for your interest and willingness to participate and put gloves on and start digging when the time comes. Anyone has anything else to say? Otherwise, feel free to jump off if you're ready to jump off, and stay on if you want to stay on.
Diane?
Okay, just a quick reminder to get your Locksbox orders in. Locksbox is Sunday morning, so get your
What do you
orders
wanna
in
give
as
her?
soon as possible.
Yeah, good reminder.
What, Dennis?
Diane. I said, thanks, Diane. Jay.
Okay.
Let's see if I can make you the host.
Okay.
Change host. Oh yeah.
I'm the host
I'm
now.
I made you the host, and then can I drop off?
Yeah.
Do you need me?
Yeah, sure.
I will email. I have everybody's email. I'll put that in the email to you tonight. And
Will you also put those websites in the email?
Yeah, as soon as I get off this call, I can forward the thing. to you.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So I'll wait till I get that. Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
I'll type up some notes also to send around.
Right. I have the plant sale. Yeah. Okay.
Gloria, you're staying, right? Gloria's staying,
I'm
right?
in here if there's anything I can pipe in
Okay.
with, and if not, I'll just
No, stay.
you guys pick out plants.
We need you to stay.
All right.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Vanessa.
Bye. Thank you, Vanessa.
Good night.
Jay,
Yep.
do you need another plant picker before I go off? Are you all set?
I
It's
think we're-
Marilyn.
Yeah, Marilyn, you're certainly welcome to stay. I happy to have you, or if you want to hop off, you can hop off.
Okay, well, I don't know. Debbie, do you need another plant picker or are you all set?
Up to you. I'm okay.
Okay,
It's up to you.
thank you. Thank you all. It's nice to see you all.
Thank you.
Nice to see you, Marilyn.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mm.
I think for the people who are left, whatever plants you have in your garden that attract butterflies, let's just talk about what we have in our garden that attracts.
Do you know how much shade you've got at this location? Is it
Direct, it faces west. The full sun west.
Yeah, there are a couple trees that are kind of at either end that may shade it a little bit.
Real sunny in the afternoon.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah, it's dappled shade at best.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm trying to think. A really nice plant that I didn't see on that list is bronze fennel. Do they have bronze fennel for sale?
No.
Gloria?
Nope.
Oh, those are wonderful for the, I forget the yellow butterfly with the black and a little bit of blue on the
Swallowtail.
swallowtail. Oh, it attracts the butterflies so well. Also, zinnias attract the monarchs. And those are real easy to start from seed.
Yeah, right. I think that we could get the marigolds from seeds too.
Yeah, I have a lot of those.
Yeah.
Those attract a lot too. What else in your gardens that you've noticed?
I don't have a lot of these kinds of plants. I mean, I have a beautiful cardinal plant. And I have some other, I just don't feel like I have that much that I have. I have a lot of asters. I have a ton of asters. And I also have a lot of snapdragon that reseed.
Oh, those are wonderful.
I know, it's amazing. They are growing out of the cracks of everything and they bloom. So I could bring a little a clump of.
And those are really nice in the fall. They like cold weather.
I get them into the winter.
What was
Snapdragon.
that?
Snapdragon.
Okay.
I mean, I have Shasta daisies, I have black-eyed Susans.
Yeah, I forgot. I do have those too.
I have coneflower, purple coneflower.
Coneflowers are good, real good.
Yeah, I had a lot of black.
Can you dig up a few of those?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could dig up maybe 10 of those, that would be good.
I don't think I have that many, but I could probably do 5.
5, okay.
I have stone crop. I have the autumn joy stone crop.
I don't know what that is.
It's a sedum.
Is that a native?
Sedum. Oh, sedum is, it's like grows on, it's like ground cover almost.
Oh, isn't that like I don't want to be rude or anything, but isn't it kind of like a jade plant kind of? It's like
Yeah,
it's a succulent.
I have.
They're beautiful. Those are beautiful.
I have millions of
I
them.
have at least a few of them.
I have I'm very happy to donate.
As far as buying plants on your list, because that's really what you wanted to decide.
Yeah.
Butterfly weed, bee balm, the prairie smoke, Virginia bluebell, and what was it? A gentian plant? What was that?
The gentian.
Yeah.
Those would be wonderful to buy.
Yeah, I have quite a lot of the bee balm, but probably we should still get more. Mine might not be the right colors though. I have red.
I have red also, but I think getting a fresh one would be good. Because sometimes when you dig them up,
yeah,
they're not fresh.
And the bluebells are blooming. When Virginia bluebells are blooming, I can dig some up. They're all over. I mean, I don't know how much they cost, but they are like,
They're
like dandelions.
they're on the pricey side, but they are
Very
wholesale.
hard to transplant.
For our prices, they're cheap.
They're hard to transplant. I haven't done that. I've just
They're
watched.
hard to transplant, but I think, I mean, you guys could decide what you want, but you were talking about getting 50 plants?
I don't think look at your, you've got to bring up the list. The Virginia bluebells are not available in 50. It's a smaller.
No, it was all together. It was 50. You were talking about 50
Oh, you're talking
plants?
about the pollinator garden. Yes,
I'm just talking about in general. If we buy 50 plants in general for the 100-foot garden, if we buy 50 plants, we're putting one plant every 2 feet. You know, maybe a few plants here and there, maybe do bulk, you know, we could decide where we're gonna put everything, but if we buy 50 plants, that would be my suggestion, would be to get those plants.
Okay.
What about the lobelia? Oh, didn't they have a lobelia?
I was gonna donate the lobelia cardinalis.
Okay.
I have a lot of that, but
I'm just going to show you guys a picture here. So this is, I'm pushing grasses, not that you
there's the liatris too. Sorry.
Can you see that? So this is a combination of the purple love grass and the prairie drop seed.
we have a lot of grass there already around the
Gorgeous. So this is taller. This is like 2 feet tall. And I just don't want to, this is prairie drop seed and the aromatic aster in the fall.
It's pretty.
So the grasses do give you some nice fall colors. Here's the prairie drop seed with the purple coneflowers mixed in.
That's really pretty.
Yeah.
Don't turn your nose up at the grasses. They can be very cool. And they also, give a lot of seeds for the birds and flowers for pollinators too. Just
See, I can't see the Virginia bluebells in this garden.
It's gonna come up before everything else, which is wonderful.
Exactly. They're gonna be there, and I don't think we're gonna get I mean, I think they're fine to have. I just don't see them.
The real nice thing about Virginia bluebells is they come before everything.
I know that. I know.
That's what's so nice about them.
Right.
What did they have the liatris, the blazing star? Liatris? Yeah, they do. Do you have an interest in that one? I like those a lot.
Yeah, I think I do.
I could donate. I have a lot of that in my yard.
Do you?
Yeah.
I have a few. I don't have that much to donate.
Me either. I don't have enough.
Yeah.
I do have some wild geranium and wild petunia.
I have some wild geranium. I don't have wild petunia. That sounds cool.
Gloria?
Yeah.
In the butterfly garden, just like for example, like looking at the garden. So how many blazing stars do we get in the butterfly garden mix?
Let me go grab a hard copy.
Is that like number 2 in?
What's a blazing star?
It's the liatris.
Are the numbers where they are on the map or the quantity in the packet?
I'm going to share the picture again of the butterfly garden here. So blazing star is like number 2 here, but there's like number 2s.
We can put whatever we want in there.
everywhere.
Scroll down and you'll see how many you get. You get 8 liatris.
Stars.
There's your 50 plants.
Oh, okay. So those are the actual numbers of each plant. Okay.
Yeah,
so that's one that if we got extra of, I could buy a couple extra. I mean, if
Is this northern drop seed? Is that the grass you were talking about?
That's the grass. You only have one, but it is a cool thing. It comes up like a fountain. It's about 2 feet high.
Can we exchange the New England aster
No.
for something else?
No.
Oh.
Sorry.
We could sell those. Okay, maybe those could just be plants we sell.
What you could do is next year tell us what you guys would like, and we can incorporate it.
Scroll back up a little bit, Jay. Scroll back up so we can see the numbers.
Here, Jenny.
If you can.
Right.
So wait,
That's
Scott,
probably a
Scott.
This is
scroll.
the rain garden there.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the rain garden? Okay,
Yeah.
Scott, this is the butterfly garden?
This is the
The one
pollinator
below
garden.
was the rain garden.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's around 48, 50 plants there.
We would
Get two
probably
of them.
need 2 of these.
Yeah,
Mhm.
just get 2 of them.
Yeah, and then
And,
if we don't want to use the asters, you have them to donate, we can, and they spread too much, we can sell them.
you know, if we put them in, you just cannot let them flower. You have to cut them down before they go to seed.
Better sell them.
I mean, not flower. You can let them flower, but don't let them go to seed.
I have asters that, I don't think it's this kind. They bloom very late. They're very tall. They're very upright. And they're beautiful, but they've spread everywhere.
Yeah, that's what.
Doesn't go to
that's
seed.
in New England.
Probably them. Are they kind of small flowers?
Yeah, like a purple stalk, they bloom.
It's purple and it's got a
bloom
little
in the-
yellow
the-
spot in the
up
middle.
the thing. You know, they come up the stalk and I love them, but in little clump, then there's little, clumps of them, but they have spread everywhere. Lots of people have.
I wouldn't even put them in the garden if I were you. If you don't want to
Yeah.
weed, those would be what your weed.
I still like them.
So so are we thinking maybe get 2 of this package, and then do we want to get like another type of flower as a separate order to give to people or to sell to people for their home? Like
You know what would be really fun at this point is get these 2 and let everybody donate what they can in the spring. And then later on, when it's warm out and it's summer, then we could offer plants and have a better idea of what people want. Or does everybody have to buy all at the same time?
We have to get them.
Yeah, we have to buy this by mid-February. So I'm thinking get 2 of these and then just get an extra flat of the butterfly milkweed. And then we could, give those plants out or sell them. And maybe a butterfly milkweed in the prairie smoke is a cool plant. Like if we just got an extra flat of each of these, and then those could be kind of what we give to people at the plant sale or sell to people to.
We're going to have to cut those up.
We'll
have to cut those up and make them look pretty. If you're going to give them away or sell them. You can't just take them out of the tray.
Okay, I've got 1 million plastic pots.
Good.
At least.
Or use them in the other planters,
Yeah.
like we had talked about. Maybe if there's somewhere else on the property, if we have
Right.
that extra ones.
Right. Yeah.
I bet people will buy them. I have a question, Gloria. Isn't there any butterfly weed? I guess this is the butterfly milkweed. Is that what
That's butterfly weed.
That's the
Are you talking
butterfly
about a
weed.
butterfly bush?
There's
Oh, that would be beautiful in there. Can we get a butterfly bush?
Don't have it. But I do I do suggest the other milkweed we have,
Right.
the pink milkweed or swamp milkweed.
Swamp, I think
It's
that's
a little taller, but it is better for attracting monarchs.
right. It's
One
better
down
for
here, the
monarchs.
pink milkweed.
I thought that's what you had down here. Right.
Yeah, so that it's a little taller, and it's pink. The other one's orange.
That is really hard to transplant.
Yeah, I don't know about transplant,
Oh,
but oh my gosh, we
really
had
tough.
so many monarchs. It was
Yeah, but they depend on this, not the other one.
no.
This spreads underground. This will spread
Right,
everywhere.
I know that.
That's
I
a
know,
real nice plant.
but it's still hard to it's hard to dig up and
The
transplant.
monarchs will lay their eggs on any
Right.
milkweed.
On
But
any,
it
the other
seems
one.
like
too?
the pink milkweed more than the
Okay,
orange one. But so I would suggest both, but
yeah. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah, let's get a tray of that too.
Yeah, I would say let's get a tray of the pink and not a second tray of the orange if the orange is coming with.
That's smart.
Well, it depends what you want to give away.
But
I think we should.
then
sell
you
it.
could, put half of the pink and half of the orange in the garden and give away half.
Nobody's going to want that pink milkweed in their garden unless they have a lot of room.
Really?
Unless they have a lot of area, like wild area. Well, I don't know. It's worth a try.
I planted 25 of them in my yard last year.
You must have a beautiful garden.
I have a lot, yeah.
I'm a little allergic to them, so I don't really.
I just
get
can't.
I get
are?
a nice big rash from the milkweed.
Oh, wow. From the
Yeah.
plants?
Yeah. I mean,
Ooh.
I wear gloves. I'm usually okay, but I don't keep them in, I don't keep the milkweed in my garden because I get too rashy from it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have
Wow.
you ever tried to dig it up and transplant it somewhere?
They don't transplant real well.
No, it is so hard. Somebody donated some that we were planting at Kurt's, if you know what Kurt's, along the Kurt's Cafe in Highland Park, and it's really an ordeal, and maybe one plant took.
Jay, if you're gonna order I'm sorry, I'm changing the subject. If you're gonna order something to be delivered, do not get wood chips because it'll attract ants.
Okay.
Just get like leaf mulch. If you want to get one other thing, you could get topsoil, although that usually has garbage in it, but that's usually pretty cheap. But garden soil, garden.
What about just
what?
What about well, I guess how many yards should we get, do you think? And should we get any compost or just leaf mulch?
Leaf compost is really good. And if they have just general garden compost is good too. Cow manure is good. You have to layer it. But
and you don't really need real fertile soil. And in fact, a lot of these heights will be completely different if you put them in potting soil. You'll have big 6-foot tall plants because they're used to being out in nature where they're not getting.
That's why I say leaf compost is good because that's like what you would get in a forest.
Right. That makes sense.
Awesome.
Instead of real,
yeah.
Okay.
Wait, was there recommended yards?
How many yards do you think we should get of leaf compost?
Get like 2 what do they call them, like truckloads?
It's like
yard. They call them yards.
I don't know.
Like a yard is a lot. A yard is a lot.
If we have $500, I would find out how much the plants are going to be and then subtract the difference and then get that much, because whatever you put on there is going to, if it's like this big, it's going to be like this big by the time we start planting because it's going to decompose. Yeah. You can't have too much.
Oh, I don't know.
The more you get, the better.
Because I've had yards of dirt delivered at my house.
Yeah.
It took a lot. I mean, a yard is a lot. And I would think yard. You don't want to see a mound of dirt. No one's going to want to see like a mountain of dirt. And that's what it's going to look like.
Well, if we spread it out in the garden.
I know, but we don't have that much. The garden's not big enough to spread that much.
We'll measure and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I would ask.
Look at our cardboard pile. I think people would rather see fresh dirt than cardboard piles.
Yes,
right. Yeah. Well,
well, let's see. Have we decided on our plant orders? Are we? So let's get that sorted. So it looks like 2 butterfly garden packages, and we're going to give away the asters. We're going to supplement it with 1 flat of pink milkweed and then maybe a flat of prairie smoke. So that'll have some plants for us to give away or sell. Do we want to get anything else besides that? What do you
want to get some of that prairie drop seed? How much comes in a tray of that?
Let me look.
Is that the grass?
The grass.
That might be nice to give away. Some people might like that.
I don't think
use half of it.
It's very good for birds. You can buy a half a flat, 25 plants for $30.
Yeah, maybe we'll get that too. Because we could even use that in those flower pots. Because he was talking about,
Yeah.
That would look cool in the flower pots with a couple of cone flowers or
even with zinnias and marigolds and some nasturtiums.
the butterfly garden only has one drop seed in there.
Right. But we're gonna have two because we're getting two butterfly.
Yeah.
Well, are they bushy or are they just like grass?
They're like a
They're clumps, right?
big basketball, a little bigger than a basketball.
It's like a fountain.
Yeah, it's like,
A fountain grass.
yeah.
Yeah, so if we have 100 feet, we can probably use 10 of those. And then give away 15.
Mhm.
Or put one or two in the, I don't know how many flower pots we have in the building. Is there 2 at the entrance?
I think there's a couple more. Are there 4?
Oh, 2 in the front and 2 in the back?
I think so.
I don't know. I think, well, did Cantor Jay and Rabbi Ike want to double check what to do about those, or do we
Yeah,
not?
they wanted to, right.
We're not wanting to put bees by
Good
the
point.
entrances.
They wanted to have some input. I think you're right. He made that clear.
Okay.
So we should plan it. I think they want to.
Yeah, let's do
I heard-
this, and then we can come back for planter suggestions.
Well, I think maybe that prairie drop seed would be pretty. If we get a half a tray.
We can still get it
Mhm.
and sell it, but we can't plan for the planters. I
No,
mean,
but we could put that in the garden, just
can-
as accent. You know,
it
something-
won't go to waste.
Right,
It won't go to waste.
right.
Yeah. Okay.
I think
So we have the two butterfly gardens. A half tray of prairie drop seed and what was the other one? The pink butterfly.
Do we want to
Pink,
the
Milkweed.
pink milkweed?
Is that a whole tray? How much is in the whole tray? 25 plants?
Pink milkweed.
25 plants for $30. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's half a flat. And if you
Yeah.
want a whole flat would be 60.
Oh my
$60.
God, we don't need that.
I think 25 is probably a good amount.
Yeah, so we have 2 extra trays besides the butterfly butterfly gardens. We have the half tray of the pink milkweed and the half tray of the drop seed.
I think we should, I think they are gonna sell out. I have, every single plant sale has been out of these every year.
Really?
These native plants are like,
Yes, you
like
can't
the
even get them.
thing,
I
so,
think we should
yeah.
have a full extra thing, and I'm happy to buy some.
Mhm.
So,
Of what?
of any of these. I don't have that many Monarda, and I always want more. I'm never satisfied. So I'm just telling you that every sale, they're out of them. And they say, oh, we're sorry, we don't have any more milkweed. Everybody wants milkweed.
Yep.
So I think we should get both of those. Get a
Yeah,
full-
I like that idea, Andy, because they'll get used. I mean, and that's kind of a big tie-in, is that we want to get people excited about the garden, and again, to get people to plant milkweed in their own yards.
Right.
So I think getting an extra of each makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Question, when are you picking up the plants?
They'll be coming in late May, and there
Oh, good.
might
'Cause
be
I thought you were gonna pick them up.
second order in might show up in June, because we have a wholesaler, but he's working with like 4 different suppliers, and it looks like part of it's going to come in June. So I can't tell you which though.
30.
I think it's a good start, and we'll definitely do this again next year.
Yeah, and then we've got, the plants that y'all were talking about at home that you can bring into
Yeah.
We
fill it
can
up.
get those started. We can place those first. Most of mine are pretty tall, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
if you don't want your plants tall and leggy, if you go in there and chop them all down in June, like those asters, which
Oh yeah,
I kind of like it when I get those 6-foot plants, but a lot of people don't. And especially when you're trying to sell this as, oh, this is a nice little suburban garden, you can chop them down in June, and then they don't get that tall in August.
Oh, okay.
yeah, we had Heliocanthus that were like 12 feet tall. They were
I have a really nice plant, but it does attract bees, and that's Joe Pyeweed.
Yeah, I have a lot of Joe Pyeweed, and I have cup flowers. Do you know what cup flowers are?
No.
They're very tall. They're like bushes that are, I mean, they're plants. They're individual plants, but they're almost like you think it's a sunflower. Well, you wouldn't think that. It's a daisy looking black-eyed Susan or something like that. And the leaves are like cups, and they're a native plant. And I've got lots of
cut flowers.
Oh, really pretty.
CUP.
Oh, cup flowers.
Yeah, so I have a lot of those. They are very easy to grow, but they're really big, like Joe Pyeweed. They're that big.
Yeah, but Joe Pyeweed attracts a lot of bees, so I would not recommend it.
The pollinator garden, you can't pick your pollinators.
Yeah.
But, and you know, the good point about where we're locating it is it's on the opposite side of the building from where the kids hang out. So
In front of the library, right?
Here's a cup flower. Is this it?
No, I can't see
Yes,
there.
yes.
Oh, pretty.
Yeah. Wait, let me see it again.
Big yellow thing.
Yeah, I want to see it. I think I'm sure it is because I have a friend who I can't.
Beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
awesome.
I had to throw some out. I just spread everywhere, and I
Yeah.
dug it up, and I was going to give it, and I didn't. It all didn't get but I have plenty.
But isn't it wonderful pulling out your extra flowers instead of pulling out crabgrass or dandelion? I mean, I don't, if it grows well, I dig it out and I give it to all my friends.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
What color is the prairie dropseed grass? What color is the grass itself?
It's green, but it turns purple in August. It's just gorgeous.
But when it comes up, does it just look like grass?
Yeah.
Is it a silvery green?
Yeah, I thought it was.
I don't know. Let's take a look at
And
it.
see, because the problem with me is anytime there's grass in my garden, I just pull it up because I can't tell what's grass and what's.
I know it's
Lots
good.
of
Too much grass.
We'll have to put name tags. We'll have to tag them.
Yeah, put a little popsicle stick there or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody ready for adjournment?
I think we got the plant orders.
whenever you
Laura,
want.
I'll see what other people want to order for themselves, and I'll get it all to you all as one order.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Thank
Don't make
you.
it complicated.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
it was
I'm
fun.
gonna send Vanessa that link right now.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you, Gloria.
Yes,
Nice
Thank
Gloria.
you.
Meeting you.
good for your garden.
Oh, stupid.